We're gonna, and I'm just enjoying what we have, local talent right here. We're gonna go for a short break after this, but then the open mic is super amazing. Oh, sorry, I'm being told we're not going to take that break. We're not going to take a short break, but right about now, we just delved into open mic. Now, Saile tunaongea about open mic. We've asked you a very contentious question hapa hivi. Your swali ni very simple. Do you support the move by Ezekiel Mutua to ban Rafiki, the movie, in Kenya? That's what we're going to be looking at. So just look at that. Do you support the move by Ezekiel Mutua to ban Rafiki, the movie, in Kenya? We would like your thoughts and comments up over. Yes and no answers as well. But in studio right about now, we have a very competent panel. And when I say that, I'm talking about film directors and cinematographers. They are creative. And of course, we'll start on that side. Tandiwe, who are you sitting right next to?
I'm sitting right next to Mark Ayabe. Ayabe, Sindio, that's correct. I feel like I always say the wrong thing, Ayabe. And he's a director and a producer. So Mark, can you talk to us a little bit about your latest project, which is Clench? Oh my. I'm jumping the gun. Let's go. Okay, Twende, your love
right next to me is a creative director by the name Victor Gatonye. He actually has a new movie coming up, and guess what? It's going to be on a film review, so check out for it, and we'll get more detail on that. Tandiwe, you had a question.
Okay, now I can, jump back into it. I know you have your latest film, which is called Clench. Could you please tell us a bit about that? Because it's very interesting. It's about how creatives are usually suppressed and they feel like they don't deserve, good positions.
Basically, Clench is life of a creative, the journey and the challenges and what really happens in our country, yes.
Okay, and do you feel like with what's happening with our economy in the country, with banks being a little bit, hesitant to give out loans and credit, what are the youth supposed to do? How do they get, the funds to start a film company?
Basically, people should, the government should look at the creatives and see it's more of a marketing platform for the whole country and not individual. So if the government comes together and helps the film industry, it would be a marketing platform for all of us. Yeah.
Definitely. Victor, I'll just ask you a very simple question. Is it expensive to produce a movie in Kenya?
Expensive is relative. However, I'll outrightly say yes and no. You see, film is, it's labor intensive, it can be, and it's also specific skill intensive. So you want a good cinematographer, you want a good film, it needs to look good. It is your mental state of what you want, also coupled with the audience. That you, for instance, the lady you just played, the one from LD.
Super S.
She's very sharp. They're very sharp people who do a very less intensive show, but then they get millions. So it's not about expensive in terms of money. What are you saying? What's the content?
Yeah, research was done and they actually ranked Hollywood. Like in terms of consumption, we consume more stuff from Hollywood, then it's followed by Nollywood, and then Bollywood, then, should I say Riverwood?
Kenwood.
Yeah, Riverwood. Yeah, or Kenwood. Yes. But then what's your response on that, Mark? And do you think Kenyans are doing a great job?
I think there's progress. I can say there's progress, but we need to catch up. I think we need to catch up. I think people need to put their heads together, not to just come up with only award shows alone, but create the content and then release the content, like the Nigerians now. We are actually consuming a lot of Nigerians' content, but we are here, that we can create. The stories are there, so it's just up to us to create, yes.
Victor, your response on the same?
I would say, I'd correct you actually.
Yes.
Why are we playing culture? Film is a cultural industry. That's what I believe. Film is an expression of a people who have experienced their world, right? So for me, I'm out of that mindset where I am trying to catch up with Hollywood. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Honestly, I am not in that world, so I look up to the technological stuff that's going on in the world, and I want to have a nice picture. But the origin of story making in its essence is from here. Yeah. And so I will not drown myself in trying to catch up. My goal is a show in Wajir,
Yeah.
Aguka in Lokichogio, Langa Langa, Lunga Lunga. Someone who can watch and say, hiya, if they engage with my stuff, that's good.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room right now.
Yes.
There's a Kenyan film.
Victor, no.
There's an elephant in the room, which so happens not to be Victor.
Yes.
And of course, we are looking at the film Rafiki. I have seen the trailer. I have not watched the film. It was banned, by the way, because it has an LGBT interest story. Do you think it was a good thing to happen? Because most of the people actually haven't watched the film, and they are criticizing something they haven't watched. So do you think it's outright to say that it's just a way of destabilizing this film at the expense of trying to find out what it had to offer right before it was banned? At least age restriction or something like that?
Well, number one, let's look at the good stuff. It's not a good, bad thing. We can't politic every decision that's done.
Exactly.
That's a bit of politics. It's a nice thing we got to mention in Cannes. It's a first time. It's a beautiful thing because Wanori's success is a success to every other filmmaker, not only in Kenya, but in Africa. Okay? In terms of banning and restrictions, we all have our own codes and our own policies. But also, we must look at the fact that if you want people to do stories of a certain kind, if we want to do stories about ourselves, we must match the demand of the money that comes in from outside with outside influences by plugging into our stories. You see? If we had like a lottery, a national lottery that came out, this would have been the best time to launch a national lottery. To say we have given age restriction, I agree on that actually. And then say, but to match this, to sort of give it another, so that our stories are told. Because, I mean, I'll be with the president. Is it there? It's there. Is it an issue? Really? It's not an issue.
Mark?
Also, I support him. I think it's just a story. And I think it's very unfair to the filmmakers. They found the story. They had the resources to film the story. It's just content. And whether it represents us or not, but it's there. So,
was it right? Was it right for the board to ban the film?
I think it's not right to ban the movie. It's a story that's there. I think the age restriction is okay, but the story should be out there. It's a possible way for us to get out there, you know.
But it's also a chance for us to fund the right thing. Yeah. If you don't fund the right thing, the thing you think is wrong will be funded by someone. You're opening up a hole. So it's about time we also rose up and said we want to do our stories. Eh?
All right, we're going to take a break right now, but we're going to come back with the conversation. Remember, the question of the night is, do you support Ezekiel Mutua's decision to ban Rafiki, the film, from theaters? Use the hashtag YouthCafe and stay with us.